Welcome to the second session of the IDEA online training brought to you by SAMA Audit Systems and Softwares Private Limited, India. Today we are going to look at how we can leverage the IDEA script vault within the passport feature in IDEA to enhance our audit analytics using IDEA software. Our learning objectives in the session is to get familiar with the IDEA script vault within Passport. We will be walking you through the scripts available within the script vault, and we will be running specific scripts. The first case study we will take up is the inventory case study, where we will be covering the IDEA script on data sanitization and data preparation for analysis, which is the fill down script. We will also be covering the outlier assessment script, which is the relative size factor script. Another very critical requirement nowadays is to do a match between the vendor and employee master data through a case study. And in this case study, we will be looking at the fuzzy match or the join script, which allows us to do a pattern matching across two files on two text fields. So without much ado, let's jump into IDEA and let's get familiar with today's session and activities. In IDEA, I've created a new project folder, more specifically a managed project folder called Online IDEA Training Session 2. And what I've also done is I have copied some sample data into this folder. One file is the inventory ledger, on which we'll be doing the inventory case study. And the other two files is master file 1 and master file 2, which is the vendor master file and the employee master file. So let's begin with the inventory case study. I am going to be importing the data. It being an Excel file, I choose Microsoft Excel, select the inventory ledger, and I import the file. Now you'll notice once the file gets imported, while the columns from date to balance amount appear to be okay, but the column material number, material type and unit of measurement has a problem in the data. The material number, material type and unit of measurement is not appearing uniformly against every transaction for that particular material number. And this is a common problem we encounter with a number of applications when you download the data as an Excel file, and the headers, which in this case are the material number, material type and unit of measurement, do not get uniformly repeated against all the transactions. While there is an option available in text imports where you can use value from the previous record, when you're working with Excel files, the only option you have is to clean the Excel file at source and then bring in the clean file. This manual intervention is risky and it causes problems. What Caseware has done is they've created a script for us called the fill down script, which allows us to fill the material number, material type and unit of measurement down the file so that the data is complete in all respects. Now, let me show you how we can obtain these scripts and also give you a walkthrough of the IDEA script vault. In the home tab, we click on Passport. You need to have a strong working internet connection for this particular activity. Now this will open up the ideapassport.caseware.com website, and you would need to sign into the site with your credentials. These are the credentials you need to create when you register and install your software. I seem to be having a small internet related issue, so it's taking some time to open the portal, but you can actually see the portal is up now. It says welcome to Caseware Passport, and remember, for all of you who do not have a Passport account, your go-to option is request to login. That's how you will get a Passport account. So I'm going to log in with my credentials. That's my registered user ID. I am also going to enter my password, and I'm going to log into my account. Now, once you log in, friends, this gives you unparalleled, unrestricted access to a world of information and knowledge on the support portal. This is the support portal. Just to give you a touchdown, you have a lot of downloads available of custom functions, guides, setup files. You have a knowledge base, which is very useful, a lot of troubleshooting tips and hints. In the videos, you have tutorial videos, which I think are fantastic. There are version 10 tutorial videos, version 11 tutorial videos are going to come very shortly. And you have access to the AuditNet portal, which is a repository of checklists for auditors. But let's get down specifically to our session. I'm going to go into the script vault. Please notice the script vault is under IDEA script and Python. And friends, take a look. These are the scripts which are available for you at the click of a button. They work on different kind of fields. There's an accumulated total script, which is very, very important. I use it all the time. You can append multiple databases. That's again a critical script. I'm going to scroll down. You have information where you can copy the header information. You can do a cross join. Lots of valuable scripts available here. Export multiple databases. I've seen a number of users request for the script when I run a particular analytic in IDEA and I get, say, 50 files. Now, I don't want to manually export all the 50 files to Excel. I can use the script and all the files will get exported to 50 separate databases in Excel. So lots of important information available here. The script we are looking at is the fill down script, and you can actually see there's a small write up here. The script can fill empty cells with the value from the previous cell, works well with Excel sheets that have been configured as a report. I think that's the important point. When you click on fill down, it allows you to access either an ASCII version of the script or the Unicode version, and there's a very nice example with a small guide on how it needs to be done. So everything you need to do to get operational on the script is available here. Very, very user friendly. Friends, in the same way, I will access the other two scripts, which is the fuzzy script, right, and the relative size factor script. Now I've downloaded those scripts and I have pasted those scripts in the macros folder within my project folder. So that's one thing you need to take care of. The script gets downloaded as a zip file. Unzip the file and paste it within your project folder within macros. Okay, notice they are IDEA scripts and not visual scripts. Now I'm going to go to IDEA. Let me show you how to deploy the fill down script. We go to macros. I'm going to open the macro. I am going to open the fill down script. All you need to do is click on the run button. It will open a dialog box where you need to choose the file. So I'm going to choose the inventory ledger. You also need to choose the fields on which you need to apply the fill down. So in my case, I am going to take the material number, I'm going to take the material type, and I'm going to take the unit of measurement. So these are basically the header fields which I need to fill down in the data. Click on OK, OK, and you'll notice in no time the script shows it's complete, and there you can see that the data has got correctly applied against the respective material categories. A very, very useful script, very good for data sanitization and data preparation, and it allays the need for you to do this cleanup in Excel. You can do it very much in IDEA, and it makes your work very, very easy. Now the next script which I would like to take up is the relative size factor script. The relative size factor script, as we all know, is a very, very useful utility to observe, study, interpret outliers in data. It's basically the ratio of the highest to the next highest numerical value for any grouping field. So in our example here, we have the material number, and I want to do RSF analysis for issues, consumption. The highest consumption to the next highest consumption, I want to know which material items have a very, very large spread between the highest and the next highest consumption. So first things first, let me capture the issues in a separate file. So I'll call this issues database. I'm using a direct extraction here, and I'm going to filter out all the records where the issue quantity is not 0. There is a value in the issue quantity. This is going to be my consumption file. So I've prepared my database for the RSF test, and now I go into macros, I open the RSF test, click on run. Once again, it asks me to select a database. You see, it's a very convenient and interactive test. I expand inventory ledger, choose issues database. Now it asks me which field do I want to run the test on. In my case, it would be material. Now if you're doing a RSF where you want to study the highest to the next highest, let us say payroll payment to an employee, your employee number will be the field to run the test on. Okay, so I'm going to choose the material number. you need to have an optional description field, which ideally should be the material description, but because I don't have the description, I'm going to take the material type, and the field for the RSF amount in my case would be the issue quantity. In the payroll example, it could be gross pay, it could be net pay. Select the fields, click on OK. The test runs very, very quickly. And you can see it expresses the result in the form of a graph. And you can actually see here, I'm going to show you both the graph and I'm going to show you the database. This is showing the top 50 RSFs. So if you actually look at this material here, ending 352, you can see the spread between the highest and the next highest consumption. It allows you to basically focus on certain material items where you need to apply very specific inventory control checks. Also, if there are certain outliers in consumption, one can take that up for review. This is the graph. I can go to the database, and in the database you can see here, it's showing the top 50 RSFs. And something which really catches my eye is material number 322, where the highest consumption is 2300 and the next highest is 80 with an average of 69. So this consumption raises eyebrows. This needs to be investigated, and it's against 124 issues, which makes the analysis very interesting. Friends, coming down to the last script for the session today, which is the fuzzy join script. Let me import the data first. We're going to be working with two master files. So I choose Microsoft Excel once again. I choose master file 1. And this data basically contains the vendor masters. I've kept it very simple. I just have the supplier name and the type of the entity. I'm going to import the other file, which is again an Excel file, master file 2. This contains the employee masters. So friends, let me put both the files together. You can see the file at the top has the supplier name and the remark, which is type of entity vendor. The file at the bottom has employee name and remark, which is employee. Now I want to do a fuzzy match between the two files based on the supplier name and the employee name. So we have the vendor master file as the primary file. We go to macros, open the fuzzy match script. I'm going to run the script. Now this part is very important. You need to select your primary file, which in my case is master file 1. It could be either, but I'm taking master file 1 as the file. The source field to match, this is very important. So in my case, I'm going to match the supplier name, and these are the fields to display. I'm taking the name and the remark. My secondary file is going to be master file 2, which is the employee master file. Here again, my target field to compare will be the employee name. So I'm doing a pattern match on two text fields, the vendor name and the employee name, and the target field to display is the employee name and the remark. Now the nice thing out here is you can actually set the precision pattern match, which is the Levenshtein factor. So I'm going to keep the Levenshtein factor at, let's say, 3, which will allow me to look at a larger segment of pattern matches. There may be false positives, but let's see where we go with this particular activity, and we click on OK. So it's pretty fast. The fuzzy analytic runs very quickly, and friends, you can actually see at a precision match of 3, we've got 4 records. Denise Bent in the supplier file with Denise Bent in the employee file, dictate and dictate, Nelly Dunn, penicillin and penicillin. And you can see in all the cases there are either spelling mistakes or grammatical variations, but the data is getting mapped together in the fuzzy feature. So friends, these were the 3 sample scripts we wanted to talk about: the fill down script, the relative size factor script, and the fuzzy join script. We encourage all of you to register for Passport and start using the script vault. There's a gold field of automatic scripts available for you to use. Encourage you all to do that, and thank you for attending session 2 of the online idea training. We look forward to seeing you in session 3 on the 3rd of April. Thank you.